There we go. Okay. I think everything's going. I think the ship is sailing. There's no turning back now. Mostly because I don't want to set up things again. But now that we're recording, my nails are too long. God damn it. Let's see. Oh, fuck.
Did he break your nail?
I slightly chipped it, and it's enough that my OCD brain will not stop thinking about it. It's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. You feel?
Do you have a nail file with you? Do you need me to drive to your place and bring you a nail file?
Drive to my house, bring me a nail file.
And we'll just record together in your dad's man shed.
Mm-hmm. And once again in the man shed, because I guess, I don't know why. Past few times I try to record at my house, A, there's too much noise going on. B, the second I close my door and hit record, everyone in my fucking house is like, oh, I need you for this. I need you for this. I'm like, literally the second I start recording. No. No.
That's crazy.
Every fucking time. Well, wow. I think I left my brain on the tracks somewhere. What the hell?
Well, hello.
Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
Welcome to our show. This is your first time listening. This is Tipsy Mysteries. We're your host.
I'm Kate.
And I'm V. I don't even know if I sound right. Something doesn't sound right. But
we're doing our best all the time. It's fine. Only crying all the time. It's fine.
Only crying aloud. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm a Pisces. I am all about crying, okay? I get it. We all need to cry.
I need to look at myself in every reflective surface possible.
I will give you all the validation that you deserve.
Oh! CV was meant to have Leo friends. I'm just saying. You truly were.
It's the Pisces in me. And then I don't know.
You're a cool kid.
I just want to say nice things to people and then not date them and have them have expectations of me.
Yeah, that's why I'm in an ace sandwich. Boom. Cheers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, my friend, how was your week? Today is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, my friend.
It's Tuesday. Tuesday again? No problem. I love that.
So good.
So good.
We're entering a quarantine. The good old days when I didn't have to deal with customers. When people are like, oh, we should stay inside. But now they're just like, it's worse, but we don't care.
We are currently recording this it is November 24th. So y'all don't go out for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, don't do it.
Just don't do it.
My week was good. My Monday and Tuesday were good. I had a depression nap this morning.
If you like that.
Been training a bunch of new people at work who've all been getting sick and quarantining in the middle of their training. So it's been great.
Fun times. Okay.
I do know there's this little baby gay at my job, and I adore her and I want to adopt her, but because she's 20 or 19, and she's had to make a point to be I don't get along with straight girls. That's straight girls I don't get along with, and I'm honey, I get it. We're on the same wavelength right here. You can listen to me rant about straight girls for hours.
Uh-huh.
And you
specifically you're talking about a specific type of straight girl. I had a lisp. Here we have a podcast. I don't know how we got here, but we are.
That's true. We're here, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So she was fun to train because she just seemed like a really good go-getter about it and smart. So
I love that.
Yeah, and she's fun to talk to. So I'm hell yeah, let's talk about astrology and shit and get to know each other better. So
baby gay.
She's dated a bunch of girls, but I'm you're still such a baby. So
a baby. Oh, me, I was a little player when I was 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. We're fine. We're here today.
You want to talk about your scarves? The scarves.
So, back when I was, like 15 or 16. It's weird. It's a weird cosmic thing. I don't know. I would be dating a girl. I would make her a scarf and then shortly after break up with her. Mind you, I didn't know I was going to break up with her before I made her the scarf. It was like the scarf had spoken. And this happened, I think, about 5 or 6 times.
Wow.
Don't at me. To anyone that knew me during that time, I apologize from the bottom of my heart.
It's like subconsciously, you're like, I'm kind of out of this, so I'm going to knit away my feelings into this scarf and then cement it once I give it to her that this is over. And basically slowly realize that it's been over for a long time and then eventually break up.
Listen, unmedicated Kate, whew. She was not a fun time. She had no empathy whatsoever. It was...
Hey, that's me. I'm not medicated, and I should be. But oh well.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What
are you drinking today?
I have my other smash. I've only eaten lunch, so we'll see how this goes again, because last time we recorded, I had a full one of these, and I was very, very tipsy the rest of the night. It was fun time.
I just realized the last time I ate was at noon.
Are we gonna have a fun episode?
Yeah. And I've got my peach wine here.
Mine's peach. Mine's peach and mango. No!
Oh, I wish I had mangoes right now.
I will bring over mangoes.
Yay! How was your week?
What happened? Fuck. I still can't handle it getting dark at 5 because the second it gets dark, I feel like the day is done. I feel like I've wasted the day. Nothing has gotten done somehow. All productivity stops because it's too dark. So that's fun. School's almost over. Registered for my last semester at Slick. Applied for graduation.
That's crazy. Are you excited?
It feels kind of weird. Mm-hmm. What's nice though is that this semester, my 3D modeling and sculpting class, it's been kind of shit. Not the teacher's fault. Literally, just like you know when you're online.
It's hard. It's hard to do that online.
Yeah. So it's been literally everyone in that class has like not gotten anything done. So I feel better about myself personally.
Yeah.
Cheers. But it's fine. So did my notes. I was a fool. And was like, you know what? I've been wanting to do this location for a while. So I'm like jumping right into this, but it's related. It's related, I promise. And it got to the point where I was like, fuck, this place is too haunted. There's too many ghosts. How am I going to get all my notes done? To the point where it was like overwhelming. So I was complaining on Twitter. And my friend Nate, sweet, sweet baby angel Nate, was like, oh, hey, do you want help? I'm like, really? Really? So he helped me with some of my notes, and I am forever grateful to him, and I owe him food and art because it was very, very nice.
That's so sweet.
Very grateful. With that being said, can I tell you a story?
Yeah. What kind of haunted story are we doing tonight?
So I will preface this with this is a 9-page kind of story, but there's a good reason. This is the location I've been wanting to do forever. It is literally one of the most haunted places in America, if not the entire world. Like bonker bananas. I would put this like, it's high up there. It's high up there. It's so high. It's like one of the most well-known ones as well. So that's why my notes are long, because I was trying to get as much as I could because I wanted to not do a bad job. You feel?
Yeah.
Feel? So I wonder if you can guess this.
Nope. You've done every single story that I know already.
Nice.
Off the top of my head, I know nothing anymore.
You actually might know this one.
I might have heard of it, but I can't. My mind is completely blank.
I'll give you a hint. Did you see the BuzzFeed Unsolved episode where they go and they are looking for Timmy? They get Timmy's ball.
That sounds familiar. Like I've listened to that episode while I was on my phone doing something else. That's ADHD for you.
Boom, bitch. Well, my dear friend, my dear listeners, today I am going to tell you, hopefully good, all about Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
That sounds familiar.
This place is so goddamn haunted. Too many ghosts. I mean, you got like a TB hospital, so automatically it's like, fuck. Think back to like episode 5 with Asylum 49.
Yeah.
This might have more ghosts. Maybe. They're pretty on par, though. This one's more notorious, though, I will say.
Yeah. Because I haven't heard of Asylum 49 until, like, around that time of year, last year.
Which shocked me because it was, like, so goddamn haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Bonker bananas. So I try to do my best with the notes. If there's anything, like, you've heard or you guys have heard that I didn't cover, I'm sorry.
I probably haven't.
Sweet. Then it's just you guys. We're good then.
I'm the best one to like ever tell these stories to because even if you told me this before, I completely forgot already. So
see, and this works because I know like 0 of the true crime stories, so it's a ride every time.
I know none of it either, so it's a ride for both of us.
It was meant to be. Cheers.
Cheers.
But yeah, so if I left out anything that you guys remember hearing, I am so sorry. I really tried to get all the good facts because it was another one where like there were certain facts I remember hearing that spooked me and I couldn't find them anywhere, so I had to like go back and like specifically research those, and it was a long time. Too long. So, with that being said,
yeah,
are you ready to learn all about Waverly Hills Sanatorium?
Yeah.
Bonker bananas. All right, let's go. So, Waverly Hills Sanatorium. It is a former sanatorium located in southwestern Louisville, Kentucky. And as you can imagine, it is ridiculously haunted.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking haunted. So, as always, going to give you the history. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah.
So, Waverly Hills Sanatorium sits on land that was originally purchased by Major Thomas H. Hayes in 1883. So, Major Hayes was in need of a school for his daughters to attend, so he started a one-room schoolhouse, because in the 1800s, you could just do that.
As one does.
As one does. He hired a woman named Lizzie Lee Harris to teach at the school. Her love for the tiny school, in addition to her fondness for Scott's Waverly novels, prompted her to name the little schoolhouse Waverly School.
Aww.
Major Hayes liked the names, and he chose to name his property Waverly Hill, because it's on top of a hill.
Yeah.
And later, the Board of Tuberculosis Hospital decided to keep the name after purchasing the land to open the sanatorium.
Ooh.
Side note, I guess Waverly novels are very specific, set of novels by this author. They're kind of just like a guy going on an adventure, I think. They were super fucking popular at the time.
But you couldn't find anything really about them?
I guess I could have looked harder. I could have read some stuff, but I
felt like it would have been just a more common thing to see.
Right?
I don't know.
Apparently a lot of middle-aged women got real fucking into them back in the 1800s. So I'm just thinking of Twilight equivalent. Think of that basically.
Ooh.
But there's no vampires, unfortunately. Just a guy during the pirate era is the first
pirates. So
give me some pirate vampires. That's what I want.
Oh my gosh. I was just thinking that pirates are just a gay coding or queer coding.
Oh, 100%.
For the ladies in that time.
And the men too.
And the men too. This was for the theys and the gays.
Cheers! This one's for the theys and the gays. I'm going to make us matching t-shirts for the
Oh my
theys
gosh.
and the gays. So, moving on to the early 1900s.
Yeah.
This is when tuberculosis, as it does, it became an epidemic. And because of the swamplands in Kentucky, it actually created like this perfect breeding ground for the bacteria to just like fucking go wild and spread.
Yeah.
So everyone's getting sick. Think of today, but back in the 1900s. TB. So this is what led to Waverly Hills Sanatorium being built, as the state needed a way to try and contain the disease.
Mm-hmm.
If only they would do that now. But not in this way. This way wasn't, well, I'll cut that out. I don't know. So, yeah.
I do not know.
Do not know. So originally, Waverly Hills, it was a 2-story frame building. Construction on the building actually began back in 1908 and then opened for business in 1910. So the building was designed to accommodate 40 to 50 TB patients safely.
That's not a lot of people, though.
Oh, and because tuberculosis was a very serious disease at the time, people who were afflicted with it, they were isolated from the general public and placed in an area where they could rest, stay calm, and have plenty of fresh air. So that's why sanatoriums were built on super high hills, and they were surrounded by woods to kind of create this serene atmosphere so that patients could recover.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I get what you're putting down.
Also makes it harder for them to, like, get out if they don't want to believe in the disease.
You're right. So as you can guess, with the rapid rise in TB cases, which tuberculosis is a long word, so I'm going to say TB. The sanatorium was quickly filled with more than 140 people, and it was obvious that a much larger hospital was needed. So more buildings were added, and the sanatorium could now accommodate at least 400 patients, and was considered one of the most modern and well-equipped facilities at the time.
Ooh.
New and bougie. So because TB was so extremely contagious and at the epidemic proportions, those living with it could not be allowed to live and exist among the general population.
Sad.
It was bad. And it was not known at the time that TB was an airborne disease. So, early 1900s, everything's going real great.
Sounds about it.
Yeah. So as a result of this, Waverly Hills was actually a self-contained community. So it was like a city in itself, and it had its own zip code even. Pretty cool.
That's
It
crazy.
had its own post office. It had its own water treatment facility. They grew their own fruits and vegetables, raised their own meat, and maintained many other necessities for everyday life. So everyone at Waverly, like from patients to nurses to doctors, and
I remember this episode now.
Yeah, they basically like had to say goodbye to everything they basically just had to say goodbye to everything on the outside world
and start living in this new underground on the hill world.
Exactly. I guess it was usually said that once you went to Waverly Hills, you became a permanent resident on the hill. Makes sense because you need to quarantine everyone and try and help get them better.
Yeah.
1900s, that's how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Do you want to learn more about TB?
I guess. Is it
the
important?
white plague? Consumption? Do you know it's called consumption? I didn't learn that till this year.
No, I didn't know that.
Because it basically consumes you. You kind of waste away. It's not great. It's not a great disease to get, quite honestly.
I can think of a few that are also like that.
Shrug emoji. So those that had TB, they would experience fatigue, night sweats, shortness of breath, and coughing up blood as they were wasting away. And so at the time, the most common treatments for tuberculosis were rest and fresh air, as doctors believed that the fresh air would cure the lungs. Because the most common way it would affect you was through the lungs. And so you couldn't breathe, you're coughing up blood, not a fun time. So that's why patients were placed in front of open windows and doors in order to get fresh air. Though this was done year-round. So there's actually a lot of old photos, if you go back and look, of patients sitting out on the balconies with blankets, and they're just covered in snow. Not sure that's going to go over well.
Yeah.
However, This did not stop them from other forms of treatment. So, these other treatments would include sunbathing, as it was believed that the UV rays would actually kill the virus, which is like sort of correct. The flip side to this is that they would put you in sunrooms, these sunrooms, that had UV light. So imagine like a tanning bed of a room, basically.
Yeah, that's...
So, because it kind of did two things. So A, it would, the UV rays would supposedly kill the virus. And then B, they also thought that even though it was dark outside, your body would think that you were getting fresh air if you were in this like artificial sunlight. But this unfortunately led to patients being unable to sleep and caused many to experience a sharp decline in mental health. You kind of just snapped because you couldn't go to bed. Not great. Not great. Are you ready for some more treatments?
Yes.
They're all bad. Just a heads up. I'm sorry. So another treatment consisted of inserting balloons into the lungs and then inflating those balloons in an attempt to expand the lungs so that patients would be able to breathe more air. Much like you.
No.
Should we get some balloons in you, bud?
No. Just use condoms. They're lubed up already. No.
I mean, you're not wrong. So there was at least one patient that experienced a collapsed lung because of this procedure. And other patients experienced broken ribs due to the pressure of the expanding balloons. Yeah, not great.
My lungs hurt. And my titties. Oh.
It's the vaping.
That reminds me. I let my mom take my car tonight.
Uh-huh.
And then I realized my my replacement Juul pods in my car. Don't smoke, kids. And adults who listen.
Don't do it, guys.
Don't smoke.
Just listen to these fun TB treatments of the time. Another one is that doctors would surgically remove infected parts of the lungs and sometimes even a whole lung. Just, you don't need that one lung. Just don't worry about it.
You don't need to breathe. That's fine.
Don't worry about it. Unfortunately, electroshock therapy was also fairly common at this time. Yeah, not great. There were even experimental treatments that became common, such as intentionally collapsing the diseased lung, as doctors believed that this would let it heal because it wouldn't have to work. This did not work. Spoiler alert.
I can't imagine that working at all.
And here's the worst thing. So in order to actually collapse the lung, the doctors would surgically remove several rib bones from the chest wall. And so the average patient required the removal around 7 to 8. Required about 7 to 8 ribs to be removed to do this. However, most surgeons preferred to only remove 2 to 3 ribs at a time, and thus patients would have to endure several procedures of this before the entire treatment was completed. So you'd have to first get your ribs removed, and then you'd have to have your lung collapsed intentionally.
And then it wouldn't even work.
Nope. Cheers. Oh, it's all bad.
And now there's humane treatment on how to help people, and people don't want to do those things for illnesses that we know that we can help prevent.
Crazy, huh? So, y'all get vaccinated. Don't do this. Let's see. Oh, so another one is another treatment for patients who had an infection in both lungs was the sandbag method. So a bag.
I don't want to know.
Oh, well, you got it. I'm sorry. You're trapped here. I'm sorry, bud. A bag containing a pound of sand is placed on either side of the patient. Is placed on either collarbone of the patient, and the amount of sand is. Oh, and they add more. Fuck. How do I explain that? So each week, they add more sand to these bags until the patient is carrying a total of 5 pounds of weight on each lung. This was supposed to, force your lungs to rest. Which, some of these I can get how they would maybe think. Let's say you can't breathe. They're like, oh, maybe we can go in and, inflate your lungs. That kind of makes sense in a 1900s kind of way.
Yeah, but I'm just like, that's...
Oh, it's all bad. It's
I
all
don't like
bad.
this.
And so, as you can probably guess, these treatments did not work out so great. And many, many patients would end up dying. So the lowest estimate of deaths is 8,000.
Oh my gosh.
Which would be about at least one death per day. Now, if you look on some sites, they I don't know how this got started, but usually, like the little spooky ones are like, this thing's cursed and this thing's haunted.
Yeah.
Every fucking where it'll tell you that 63,000 people died.
Oh my gosh.
No, that would be like
the whole country
one every
half
hour, which was not the case.
Yeah.
And so the lowest, it's most likely more than 8,000, but it is not 63,000. I just want
somewhere
to make
between 8 and 63,000 had died.
Yes, bingo. But it was like equivalent of a death a day, because it's not great.
Yeah.
So, are you ready? Since the sanatorium was at the top of a hill, there was a tunnel that had been built so that staff could receive supplies if the weather had become too bad and cars were unable to make it up the hill.
Uh-huh.
However, this 500-foot-long tunnel was soon used to transport other things out of the sanatorium.
Oh, no.
So, at this point, the death rate of TB patients was at least 1 per day. This was also bad because if patients were to see the number of bodies leaving and being carried away, it would have lowered their morale significantly and ultimately led to more deaths. Because at the time, they're like, if you have TB, you need to breathe some fresh air. You need to have some good mental health. You need a journal. You need to get a coloring book. Come on. You don't need to see these dead bodies.
Yeah. I'm like, you're getting sent to a place where dead bodies are everywhere. Like, you don't want to... You're just going to be like, what's the point of being there if I'm just going to die anyways?
Exactly. They're supposed to get better. So, because of this, the sanatorium began transporting the dead bodies as secretively as possible. And they would do so using the tunnel, ultimately nicknaming it the body chute.
Oof.
Fun fact.
Very fun.
Are you ready for another fun fact?
Yeah.
So, side note, at this time, the bodies of those that had died from TB were thought to still be contagious because that was the general medical thought at that time. Is that let's say you die of a disease, your body still could have that disease.
Yeah.
That is not true. Anyway, so because of this, the dead bodies would actually be, so they would die, they would be taken to the autopsy room, they would be hung up, and they would be cut from sternum to the groin area and drained of all fluids after their autopsy. And so that they believe that was the best way to make sure that you had a clean body, that nothing would be contaminated. Which I guess if you believe that at that time, that makes sense to do.
Okay, but what are you going to do with all the remains?
So, from there, the dead would be put into a casket and taken down the death tunnel, the body chute, and loaded onto a train to be sent to funeral homes or crematoriums. Though at a certain point during the height of the epidemic, the weather became so bad that loads weren't coming in regularly. And that's when bodies started to stack up. It's like the train wasn't able to get there. So at this time, the staff actually had to cremate the bodies right then and there without any preparations.
Oh, no.
So imagine a pile of corpses set aflame. Super fun.
It sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not really. No.
No. Because that was the general thought. It's like, okay, we need to dispose of these bodies so we don't risk contagion further, basically.
Yeah.
We're trying to contain it. That's the main thing. So super duper fun. The facility served as a TB hospital until 1961, when the discovery of an antibiotic that successfully treated and cured TB rendered the facility obsolete.
Oh, nice.
Is good. It's nice.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
You did it.
You did it. Gold star, buddy. You tried.
You tried.
So it was closed down in quarantine, then re-renovated. And in 1962, the building reopened as Woodhaven Medical Services, which was a nursing home. Though Woodhaven Medical would later be closed by the state in 1981 due to being understaffed and overcrowded, along with many reports of patient abuse.
Oof.
Is this sounding familiar to Asylum 49? Yes, it is.
Yeah. But isn't that really just the life cycle of buildings from hospitals to nursing homes, and then
Yeah. You're right.
Sad.
So from there were attempts to turn the building into a minimum security prison, but that was dropped due to underfunding. There was also an attempt to turn the land into apartments, but those plans were dropped as well. Just no funding.
Yeah.
You'll love this. In 1996, a man named Albert Haskey bought the property and had planned to build the world's tallest statue of Jesus, along with an arts and worship center.
What?
The statue was designed to be bigger than the statue in Rio de Janeiro, at 150 feet tall and 150 feet wide. Situated on the roof of the sanatorium. On the roof. So the total cost would have been $12 million, and Albert Haskey had planned on getting the funds through donations.
Donations?
However, his plan would also fall short as he only managed to raise, can you guess?
Please tell me it's only like $12.
God, I wish. He actually managed to raise $3,000. So, it's just a little bit shorter.
He got a foot. He's got Jesus' toes.
He can construct 4 of Jesus' toes. How about that?
2 on each foot.
2 on each foot. Boom. Done. Only that. Nothing else.
Only 2 toes on each foot.
Love it.
All you get.
So, following this failure, Waverly Hills would be sold to Tina and Charlie Mattingly in 2001. And so the Mattingleys now hold tours of Waverly Hills and host a haunted house attraction each Halloween, with proceeds going towards the restoration of the property. They're also currently restoring all the windows in the building while restoring the interior of the old sanatorium. So also like Asylum 49, I like these guys because they do their most to like keep the place up and good and be respectful. And like they're actually working to make it not dilapidated. And like these windows are expensive. They're like $500 a window. It's ridiculous. But like that's their dream. So much like Asylum 49 where they're like, we're going to be respectful to the ghosts. Mm-hmm. Unlike Penhurst. Penhurst was not great.
Yeah.
That was one of the like doing the haunted house and it was like maybe you should be a bit more respectful to all the ghosts here. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. And so they do hold like ghost tours and stuff, but they also like take those very seriously, which I again appreciate.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of ghosts, you want to hear about some hauntings?
Yeah.
Buckle up, Buttercup. Buckled in. Let's go. The building is reportedly the home of many ghosts. So, disembodied screams and voices, shadow figures, and the moan of the sick and dying are all regularly reported.
Ooh.
Just like that. Ugh. So, one of the most famous ghosts is a child named Timmy. Here's Timmy. According to legend, Timmy was a 6 or 7-year-old boy who died at Waverly from TB, but has not been able to move on. Timmy is most often seen on the upper floors of the hospital, and people have seen him running from room to room. Visitors who go to Waverly often will bring toys with them to try and entice Timmy to play with them, which I personally like. I love when people go and
play with the kids.
Yeah, and like bring ghost stuff to like play with. Makes me happy.
Yeah.
So, so they bring the ball with them to get Timmy to play with it. The ball will sometimes move on its own. However, for example, visitors will see a ball roll down the hallway out of nowhere. Like they're on an investigation, they see this ball come down the hallway, they're like, and then it'll land at your feet. Then when you turn around and look to see what's going on, you look back, the ball's gone. But if you look away again, then it reappears.
Ooh.
So the ball's like basically just disappears and reappears again, which I thought was spooky.
That is spooky.
Others have reported that they'll see the ball roll up to them, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, cool. They'll go to leave to another part of the building, like completely separate. And then about an hour later, they'll see that same ball roll up to them again. Like, play with Timmy. He just wants to play.
Are they just like kicking the ball to the side? Like, I've got things to do. I've got adult things to do.
That's what I'm kind of imagining, which is really sad. You want to go play with Timmy? Let's play with Timmy.
Okay. Let's go play with him.
Please, Timmy. So others have reported that if you bring your own ball and you kick it down the hole, that Timmy will roll it back to you.
Aww.
That's a pretty common occurrence. I'm like, I'm glad people are playing with them. Oh, I forgot about this. So on the 3rd floor, there is said to be the ghost of a little girl wearing a blue dress with matted hair. She also has no eyes. Apparently, she'll run up to you and also through you. And I guess she's like one of the most commonly seen full body apparitions. So imagine you see this little girl with no eyes running towards you. Nightmare fuel.
I'd rather not imagine that.
Me neither. I'm so good.
Yeah.
It was the eyes that got me personally.
It's the lack of eyes that got me.
It's the lack of eyes for me. So another common sighting is the apparition of a man in a white coat who walks around the kitchen and cafeteria. You'll like this. So staff and visitors have also often reported the smell of freshly baked bread coming from the kitchen. Like, this is like a common fucking thing. Like, we're like, oh no, I smelled like bread baking, which, okay, sounds fucking awesome, but also I want some bread.
All I want.
Bread.
All I want in life.
All I want. Can we, like, bring them some bread? Or do they get the ghost bread? That's what I'm wondering, personally.
I'm like, my dream, my whole life, I told my mom I wanted to marry a baker so I could wake up to the smell of bread every morning. I worked at Subway for like 2 years, and I was like, loved how I'd open and bake bread and smell like bread the whole time. I hated myself. But, like, I love bread. I love bread.
Guys, if you didn't know this about me, now you do.
I love bread.
Should we just bring bread to you?
Oh my
Next
gosh.
time we see you?
Yeah, I'm like, why are we bringing cake when we could just buy croissants?
Fuck you, right. I'm going to bring some sourdough and I'm going to bring some butter. I'm going to go to town.
Oh my gosh.
I'll bring 2 baguettes for us.
Like, the noises I have to, like, contain right now is insane. I was thinking about it this morning, how, like, every time we celebrate anything, you'd always bring a chocolate cake, and I'm like, that's cool. I'll eat this chocolate cake with you guys. I don't like chocolate, but I'll eat it with you. But you always leave it at my place. So then I'm stuck with the chocolate cake for the next couple of days, and I'm like,
maybe we're, like, subconsciously trying to condition you, because I'm sorry we do that. Now we'll just bring bread.
I'm like, please just bring bread. I love bread so much.
Ugh, guys, we fuck with bread. The way to V's heart is through bread. Fun fact.
Please.
So yeah,
take me to a sandwich place, a bakery. Oh, my heart.
We'll go to a bakery, get some bread. Go to Waverly Hills, give the ghost some bread.
Yeah.
Play with Timmy. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, fuck, there's some bread coming from the kitchen, but nothing's in the kitchen. They will also hear the sound of footsteps and voices in the kitchen and cafeteria, along with, like, metal banging, like, think of, like, cafeteria trays.
Yeah.
So, and all I can think is, like, the scene from High School Musical 2 in the kitchen. They're doing a little dance number and everything's banging and clanking.
Yeah.
Ugh, love High School Musical. That's the only CD I own for my little CD player.
Oh my gosh.
Musical 2 soundtrack.
I'm like, we need to watch High School Musical, like, have a whole marathon of it.
Please, 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 please. Guys, the second's the best because it's the gay one. Love it. Love that. Ooh, this is weird. So, people have also reported seeing an apparition of a hearse that appears to be delivering coffins to the back of the facility. So they'll see this hearse come up in the back by the tunnel, drop off these coffins, drive away, and then the coffins, like, slowly fade away after that.
Huh.
Spooky.
It is spooky.
So it would also seem that shadow people run rampant at Waverly, as they are frequently seen in dark hallways and in rooms. Sometimes they appear as full apparitions, other times they appear just as a pair of 2 eyeballs.
Are they those girls' eyeballs?
Do you think she's looking for them, but she can't find them because she can't see? Fuck! Do you guys enjoy us? We're having a crisis.
I'm going through so many emotions.
It has also been reported that if you shout at these shadow people, that they'll turn towards you and start walking in your direction.
No. No. We don't need that.
Like, imagine you see someone, you're like, oh, who's that? Who's that? Who are you? And then it just turns toward you and starts walking. I'm good.
Like, JK, I don't want to know who you are anymore. No,
you're good.
you.
I was just leaving. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So, one paranormal investigator witnessed what looked like human shadows moving up and down the 4th floor hallway. One of the shadows in particular actually appeared to look around corners at him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't like that. There was also a guard who saw a floating head in one of the rooms late at night. He screamed and ran downstairs where he passed out and was so terrified that he never returned to the sanatorium. Big mood. So, one of the most famous hotspots for paranormal activity is room 502, which I guarantee you've heard of.
Is that the one they slept in? In BuzzFeed Unsolved?
I'm pretty sure.
I haven't.
90% sure.
Tell me about room 502. I don't know anything.
So,
Tell me, Jon Snow.
I've never seen Game of Thrones. Anyway, rumors and stories say that in 1928, the head nurse in room 502 was found dead in the room. She had committed suicide by hanging herself from the light fixture. According to legend, the nurse had gotten pregnant by a doctor in the sanatorium. But when he wanted nothing to do with her or the baby, her depression over the situation led her to take her own life. However, other versions of the story say that the doctor who got her pregnant attempted to perform an abortion. But the surgery ended up being botched, and both the nurse and the fetus ended up dying. So to cover his tracks, the doctor staged her death to look like a suicide. Which, more dramatic, but I'm kind of inclined to believe personally.
But is there any physical or any proof that happened?
This is where it gets kind of iffy.
It's just like a he say, she say kind of situation with it then?
Kind of. So there's kind of arguments for both sides on this because it's 1928. That would be a very taboo death. So not necessarily recorded as much. The part where it gets iffy, though, is that, no records, but also it depends on what... Oh, fuck, I'm trying to explain it. So the controversy actually comes from, where she would have hung herself.
Uh-huh.
Because some people say it was from, the door frame. Others say the light fixture. The light fixture probably wouldn't hold someone. Others say the sprinkler, but the sprinkler wasn't added till, the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But, so it's kind of no one really knows.
Yeah.
But I guess, later in 1932, there was another nurse who worked in that same room. She ended up jumping from the roof patio and plunged several stories to her death.
Oh my gosh.
No one seems to know why she would have done this, but many have speculated that she was actually pushed over the edge. But again, with her, there's no records to verify the claims. But the thing that gets me is that there's still really weird things that happen in this room.
Yeah.
So, over the years, countless staff and visitors have had strange experiences, including hearing disembodied voices, hearing and seeing slamming doors. Some have reported seeing shapes near the window in room 502, and a few investigators have even recorded a voice saying, "Get out." Many have also gotten nauseous. Many have also gotten a nauseous stomach upon entering the room. That's really common. While others have seen the apparition of a nurse in uniform. I guess people see her a lot.
Yeah.
Others actually have objects thrown at them or have been struck by unseen hands. So whatever's in there is not doing great.
No.
I don't know if it's multiple things. It's just one of those.
There's just a lot of bad energy in there.
Exactly.
There's a lot of negative energy.
I think no matter what happened, which granted that those stories could be entirely made up. That's completely possible. There's still something in there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's spooky. So maybe it's a demon taking the form of the nurse. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, also on the 5th floor, visitors have reported seeing children playing in rooms. And so, how to explain this? So when the sanatorium was first being built, I should add this earlier, they did have a separate kind of wing of the building that was for children of patients that were taken to the sanatorium. Because they're like,
Okay.
let's say you get sick, you can't really take care of your kid. And let's say you don't have anyone else to take care of them. So they would come with you and they would stay at a separate wing so they wouldn't get sick. So people see kids playing in rooms. Others have seen apparitions of patients roaming the halls. This gets me. These patients are often seen hunched over, as this would have been the result of too many ribs being removed. Yeah. Because when you have like 7 or 8, like 2 or 3, you'd probably be fine, but 7 or 8, that's when you lose a lot of the structural integrity, if that's the right word. Like core area. And so it's like people see these hunched shadow figures like all the time. Spooky. Others have seen shadow figures passing by doorways and light coming from windows as if they were still being occupied. And I swear to God, there's shadow people on every goddamn floor of this building.
I am not surprised.
They are infested. Ah. Oh, some visitors have also heard the sound of children singing nursery rhymes coming from the roof.
No.
I'm so good.
If I ever had a child, I would never, but if I did, I would never let it learn a nursery song. Nursery rhymes, whatever. No.
What if I'm going to teach it nursery rhymes behind your back?
I would bite you.
But then like that same... Okay, if I'm ever a parent, genuinely, I will be that like one that's... So like, let's say the kid's like, oh, this is my imaginary friend. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a dead kid. They're like, oh, there's something in my closet. I'm like, yeah, it's probably a demon in your closet, bud.
I'm like, okay, it's time to sage the house. But not really sage it, but like salt it and cleanse it.
Aw. Can I borrow some of that salt there, bud? Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, what if your kid's like extra like gifted? Fuck. They got that extra in touchness. They gonna be bringing stuff in? Ooh.
Especially as a kid too, because you're more...
You have no filter.
Yeah.
You got none.
They're going to be like more susceptible to that.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you.
Cheers to that. Oof.
No kids, more cats. No kids, more cats.
No kids, more cats. Welcome to our podcast.
I'm like, just keeping animals that can sense things that you know, like, aren't super skittish. So when they are skittish about something, you know something's fucked up.
That still gets me how Charlie was like sketched out when you're talking about Lizzie Borden. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Just saying. Let's see. What was I?
She's been asleep this whole time.
So you're probably fine.
Yeah.
So. Oh, don't do that. Both the owners and security guards say they've seen lights in the building at night, even though there's no electricity in the building. And there has not been for a long-ass time. And there is also no glass to reflect light, which is very important. Because a lot of people are able to like debunk seeing lights in windows of old places as like their reflection.
Yeah.
They ain't no glass. No. A security guard once reported that he had seen a television playing in a room on the 3rd floor.
What?
From outside, he saw what appeared to be the distant flicker of a television in a dark room. So he went upstairs to investigate, but found nothing. Which I thought was spooky.
I don't like that.
Like poltergeist. Woo!
Oof, no.
Oh, another common sighting is that faces will appear in windows to rooms that are unoccupied and in photos where nobody's standing. So imagine you're like taken on tour. You look up at a window. There's just a face there.
No.
I'm so good. So fucking good. No, thank you. Many have also recorded EVPs of what sound like groans, along with winded breathing, most likely from a TB patient. Don't listen to these when you're alone, because they gave me goosebumps. Oh my god, it's like those very kind of guttural, like breathy, like groans, like ugh.
Like when I vape too much.
Exactly, just like that.
And then I have to go up 3 flights of stairs, and I'm like, ooh.
Let's get some balloons in your lungs, bud.
No.
No. Oh, that's right. One of the saddest ghost stories is that of an elderly woman who supposedly roams the hospital. She is seen bleeding from her chained hands and feet while screaming, "Help me, somebody save me." Though she cries for help when outsiders approach her, she runs away screaming in terror. She is thought to be the spirit of one of the abused nursing home patients.
Oh.
Which is real sad. Ooh. Ooh. Next up is the death tunnel, aka the body chute. Have you seen pictures of this?
I think I've seen a video of it.
It's like, imagine a long tunnel, all concrete. You have like a strip of like flat concrete, and then you have like those kind of stairs.
Mm-hmm.
It's spooky looking. I don't know. So visitors often say that they can hear unexplained footsteps and disembodied voices in the tunnel. Others have seen shadow people, green orbs, and full-bodied apparitions. Like that.
Ooh.
Ooh. The tunnel is also known as a hotspot for EVPs, and many people have recorded whispering, screams, and even people's names being called out. It's like, let's say you're an investigator there, you get your name called out in the tunnel. I'm good. It is also reported that these voices will sometimes be heard further into the tunnel, enticing people to walk down to the end of it. People have also been attacked in the tunnel by spirits. They've been pushed, have their hair pulled, and even punched, I guess. So that's fun.
I don't like that.
Makes sense when you got a lot of bodies going through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great. So another hotspot is the old operating room. This is where the more gruesome procedures would have taken place, like, removing ribs. Just the usual cash. So in this room, visitors have reported doors both slamming and jamming shut. Others have been touched by spirits, and you guessed it, more shadow people, because they're fucking everywhere here. God, there's no shadows here, only shadow people.
No shadows allowed. It's all people.
It's all people, God.
Can't even trust your own shadow. Gotta be like Peter Pan and fight yourself.
Did you see my notes?
No.
Doppelgangers come up. Anyway.
Oh.
So one visitor was on a tour with a group when the door to the operating room slammed shut and would not open. There was no lock on the door, and the door handle hole was open, and yet no one on this tour could pull it back open. It wasn't until the tour guide asked politely that they be allowed to leave that it was opened with a fingertip.
No.
So I like how these guys are just taking this in stride. Oof.
Like, this is my usual. This happens every day.
This is my 9 to 5. Cue Dolly Parton. Love Dolly Parton. Oh, she's so good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She truly is.
We stand Dolly Parton in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
So, the old morgue has also been known for its amount of activity. Visitors often report dramatic drops of temperature and cold spots in the room. Others have heard the sounds of metal scraping, and most investigative teams will experience camera malfunctions while in the operating room. Even spookier! Teams that have conducted spirit box sessions will have their names called out. And I saw this one team that went and all of them had their names called out. Fucking weird.
No.
And one team even reported seeing the autopsy table shaking. Quote, like it was a washing machine on a spin cycle.
Nope.
Though everything else in the room was still. It was, and the autopsy table was still cold, but it was vibrating.
No.
Did you just get some goose flesh?
I'm just cold.
Cold and clammy and sweaty?
Yeah.
Cheers. Oh, that's right. So, all my notes are coming back to me. I told you this place is fucking haunted. So, due to the state that the building is in, there are puddles of water throughout the building just because it's, it's a little dilapidated.
Yeah.
There have been multiple investigators. There have been multiple investigators that have found wet footprints throughout the hospital. These are not shoe prints. These are bare ass feet.
Bare feet and ass?
Bare feet and ass. And so they see these throughout the hospital, and there have even been reports of people being alone in a room and then hearing the sound of someone stepping in a puddle next to them.
No.
Good night. No, thank you.
That.
I hate that.
I don't like that at all.
So much. It is also reported that loud banging can be heard throughout the hospital, but only if you're alone. So let's say you're there investigating with a friend. You guys decide to split up. You hear banging around you from one end. Your friend also hears banging around them from another end. Y'all come together. You're like, what the fuck was that? Why were you banging? They're like, I wasn't banging. You were banging. Speaking of banging, here's my least favorite thing. Doppelgangers. I hate doppelganger shit. It scares the ever-loving crap out of me. Like, if you want to give me nightmares, if you want to keep me awake, doppelgangers. Easiest way. Horrifying.
Yeah.
So, Waverly is famous for its doppelganger sightings.
No.
So, for those that don't know, these are a type of spirit that can mimic the appearance, the voice, and the mannerisms of anyone or anything it encounters. This could mean looking across the room and seeing an exact replica of yourself or someone you know.
But would it really work if, like, you've never really seen yourself?
Oh, that's an interesting theory.
Because people always talk about, like, how you only see reflections of yourself, so you never really seen yourself the way that you are perceived as, you know?
That's a good point. I feel like if you were in a crowd, maybe you wouldn't. But if you're there with very few people, and then, like, let's say I see someone else with pink hair that wasn't there before, I'd be like, goodbye. I'm done. Yeah. Peace.
That's true. If you're out one-on-one with someone, and you're like, you look eerily familiar. I don't like that.
Yeah.
If I saw someone like all the same piercings as me with like blue hair, I'd be like, I don't like this. I'm gonna go.
Bye.
Yeah. I'm like, we can't have two of us here, so I'll go. I'll bow out. I'm fine.
You'll go fast, Sonic?
Van Gogh.
I love it. So, tour guides at Waverly Hills have reported seeing doppelgangers of themselves and of others. In some cases, the doppelgangers were almost identical, except for black holes where their eyes should be.
No!
And usually in, like, doppelganger cases, like, they'll look almost identical, but something will be off. Like, let's say the haircut's slightly wrong, or, like, something else is just off. Not right. There are numerous reports of visitors either seeing or hearing the voice of someone they came with when that person is in fact in another place altogether. So, example, like, you go with a friend, you are in separate parts of the building. You hear their voice calling out to you in one direction. They then appear from another direction confused because they had just heard your voice calling them. I am so good. I'm so fucking good.
When we go visit with our bread and our toys, you're not leaving me.
Oh, no, we're not separating, bud.
We're not separating from each other. Nope. And I won't sing any One Direction songs at you to scare you. It'll be fine.
Thanks, bud. Wait, but maybe you need to, because what if we accidentally get separated and then the doppelganger comes back, who I think is you?
Okay, then I'll start singing One Direction songs to you.
Okay, so you'd have to sing One Direction songs. What would I have to do to make sure you know it's me?
You have to start just sprouting out random facts about Prince.
You got me.
Or just talk about bike anime.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Hey, Kate, how tall was Prince? 5'2". You're the real one.
How tall was Prince? I have a gun at you. Pointing at you and the doppelganger. I'm like, as soon as I say how tall, I know that you, the real you, would say 5'2", and I'm like, okay.
The thing is, you're absolutely right. Oh my god. I'm crying. I'm glad we got this sorted out now.
Like, you with like an evil twin. I know which one to shoot.
Yeah. Ooh, I would not do well with a twin. No. There can only be one of me. I know Alex would like exist.
I would help make sure that there's only one of you.
See? You're looking out for me, bud. Cheers.
Yeah.
And if one of you doesn't sing One Direction at me, I'll be like, I'm
like,
you walk around and you just say, I'm not wide enough for this. I'm like, there's
truly the caucasity of all this.
The caucasity of it all.
No, but I need to figure out what I would, like, if I had an evil twin and you had to shoot one of us, I have to figure out what my thing would be. Like, to know for sure it's me. Like, I'll figure it out later.
Figure it out. We'll sleep on it.
We'll sleep on it.
Ooh, are you ready for the next one on our roster?
Yeah.
Our next ghost is the Creeper.
I don't like
this.
I don't like this.
So this is an entity that hates visitors to Waverly, apparently.
Huh.
And while most shadow people appear in the shape of a person, the creeper is more animal-like in its approach.
No, thank
It
you.
moves on all fours as it crawls on the walls and the ceiling. I'm good. The creeper is usually spotted on the 4th floor as it peeks around corners at visitors.
Huh.
Even more terrifying, reports say that if you happen to see the creeper when you're alone, it'll run down the dark hall at you and then up the wall as it continues to approach you while crawling upside down from the ceiling.
No.
Good fucking night. Nope.
No.
Nope. Nope.
So when we go, we're taking Alex with us, right?
Yes. And like something, she'll see the creeper and be like, wow, that shadow was like, that passing car made that shadow really big, guys. Fuck.
I need that kind of energy with us.
I think the ghosts are just going to get... Okay, the ghosts end up being terrified of her because she'll just be like, nothing's happening.
Yeah, because if I'm terrified of the ghost, all I'm going to do is be like, I'll seduce you. I'll become your woman, so then I won't be afraid. If I love you, I can't fear you. If I love you, I can't fear you.
Does that mean I can annoy the ghosts with questions? Interviewing them, they're like, oh, actually, I've got a meeting. I gotta go. I gotta run. I got dinner on the stove. I'm like,
so we have one small ghost incident. We annoy the ghost. They all leave us alone, so we learn the history of the actual building.
You right? You right? Yeah, I don't know if I want to see the creeper.
No.
Because no one really knows what this thing is. But it is said to be something more demonic, as it's like super malicious and hostile, and it should be avoided at all costs.
I can imagine.
So maybe we skip the 4th floor and just go up to the 5th.
Okay.
Oh, this one. I love this story. So, sometime before the property was purchased in 2001, there was a group of 4 teenage boys that broke into the sanatorium.
Of course.
Because this was like a common fucking thing for teenagers to do before it was like re-renovated.
Yeah.
They managed to get in using an axe and were able to avoid the security guards. They were exploring and eventually got to the 4th floor. That's when they started to hear strange noises and began seeing shadows move. They eventually got to a room where they heard the sound coming from and went inside. After investigating around the room and finding nothing, they tried to leave, but that's when the door slammed shut.
Oh, no.
The boys began panicking and trying to get the door open, but it wouldn't budge. Soon after, they saw shadowy figures appear in the room and start to close in on them. By this point, they were screaming and banging on the door as one of the boys used the axe to try and break the door open, but it didn't work.
Oh, no.
Soon their screaming alerted 2 security guards who ran up to the room and opened the door to find the boys. They could just come tumbling out. When they asked them what the boys were doing there, because they're trespassing, the group told them that they had been locked in. This confused the guards as they told the boys that wasn't possible. They showed them that the door had no way to latch or lock, as it physically didn't have any type of lock on it.
No.
And that it swung easily open. To this day, visitors can still see the axe marks on the inside of the door.
Which is crazy, because if the door would be so easily open, hitting it with the axe would have made it open up.
Yeah.
And so for it to leave actual marks means that it had to have actually been shut.
Oh, entirely. And think about this. These kids are trespassing. They don't want to get caught. They were so goddamn scared that they're screaming for their lives, trying to get someone to get them out. That they didn't care about getting caught at that point. So, fucking, that story just gives me chills. I'm like, ew. Yeah. Ew. Imagine you're somewhere, and they're like, this door physically cannot lock because there is nothing on it. Fucking terrifying.
I do not like that.
Love that. So, on another occasion, we're almost done, guys. Almost done. Yeah, we're almost done. There was a group that had been investigating, and after touring the building, they headed up to the roof to decompress. They began to see shadows moving and started getting scared. One of the investigators got so scared, he wanted to jump off the roof.
No.
So the group went back inside and was still pursued by these shadows. They started to hear doors slamming shut and saw mysterious footprints appear from nowhere in puddles of water. After that, the group got out of the building as fast as they could and did not return. Fair. Ooh, so there was also 8% who I am 5'2". I'm gonna put that.
8% who? I am 5'2". I'm gonna put that on your tombstone.
Please, for the love of God, I need you to do that. Are you writing this down?
I am writing this down.
Yes! Guys, we have fun. I love getting drunk and talking about ghosts.
I'm gonna make a note to put this in a will. I don't know whose will, but a will.
Oh, well, we'll put it in it'll go somewhere.
It'll go somewhere. To the right people to send this to make sure it's on your tombstone.
There we go. Boom. So,
do I have to put like a little symbol of like the battery charger or battery life on it? For the 8%?
Oh, I was talking about like alcohol.
I thought you meant like your battery percent in your body. Like,
oh, I was talking about like alcohol in my body because like you're small, you have a lower tolerance. It's 8%.
That was just 8% alcohol.
Yeah, 8%.
But how many servings are in it?
Oh, that's a good question. Fuck, let's see. Oh! Oh! I thought 8% meant the whole can. I was like, I didn't think I was that much of a lightweight. Fuck!
How much are you drinking? For how many are you drinking right now?
What's 8% times 3.2?
3.2 times 8? Why gotta make me do math? The minute I got here, I was like you're like, how do you subtract these two numbers? I'm like, 15.
Doing great.
So that's like 25.6%.
I hope you guys feel like you've been on a journey with us. I hope to God I'm not the only one who just discovered this. But given my track record, highly plausible. All right, let's get straight in. Gotcha. Ooh, this is spooky. Are you ready?
Yeah.
There was also an investigator named Rick Hinton who wrote about his paranormal experiences while at Waverly. He said that he got asked a lot, what's your scariest experience? And he said that... Back up. So, quote, I get asked a lot, what's been your scariest experience? There have been quite a few of curious nature, shadows, voices, doors opening and closing, etc., which have been intriguing and made an evening interesting. However, there is one location that got my heart racing with a series of events that all happened on the same night. Are you ready?
Yes.
My team made a trek through a dark first-level hallway. I was holding up the rear with a shadowy figure walking next to me. I assumed to be my teammate Doug. In what little I could make out, he was built like Doug. Anyway, we had our flashlights off so our eyes could adjust to the dark. We were silent, listening. Someone tripped in the group in front of me, and I heard Doug, up there, laughing and making a comment. I switched on my light and no one was beside me.
Oh, that's spooky.
Spooky.
Did I ever show you this pen I have that has a random light in it?
Whoa.
I'm like, I don't know why.
Secret light.
Secret light.
I feel like I am Mothman now. Take that, Mothman. On the 4th floor terrace, I was alone and watching a dark shadow following me within the inner hallway. It was playing hide and seek. It would on occasion peek out a dark head around the door frames. Fuck that. Oh, my teammates helped me into a morgue locker at my request and left me alone. I listened to their footsteps retreating. It was quiet for a while, and then the small room around me seemed to come alive. I couldn't see anything but black, yet outside the locker door, I heard the sounds of shuffling feet and the clatter of things being moved on a metal gurney. They stopped as my team returned to let me out. Later that night, we ended up at the body chute where the deceased were transported after passing in the hospital. Standing at the top, even a flashlight beam would not reach the bottom of the tunnel.
Oh, no.
While shooting a single laser beam to the bottom, it suddenly stopped upon something solid.
Nope.
And that something was making its way up the tunnel towards us. We could see the vague white outlines of a form. We watched it grow closer until the form disappeared, with the laser beam then shooting down into the darkness. End quote. I'm so fucking good. Oh my god. And when I first read that one, it gave me so many goosebumps. Like, can you imagine like having a laser pointer and then you see something moving towards you?
And then it just disappears and then it goes back to... No, I don't want that. No.
So Keith Age and Troy Taylor were among paranormal investigators who observed and recorded phenomena at Waverly. Taylor said that his 2002 visit to Waverly marked the first time he was ever frightened by haunting activity. Age, Taylor, and other investigators recorded unusual fluctuations in EMF readings and sudden and bizarre changes in temperature. Doors opened and slammed shut by themselves. On the 4th floor, Age was attacked by an unseen poltergeist who caused a plastic soda bottle to fly out and hit him in the back. So it's like something threw a plastic soda bottle at his back.
Like, don't let her. Yeet.
Yeet! Later, an overhead fluorescent light fixture ended up swinging loose and struck him on the back of the head. Jesus fuck. And then, lastly, while investigating a hallway, the team all witnessed a brick fly across the air and hit him in the back.
No.
That's all the same guy.
No.
That's rough, buddy.
That's really rough.
And that's my story on Waverly Hills Sanatorium. I'm sorry if I forgot anything that you guys know. I genuinely tried.
That's a lot of stuff to go through. You went through a lot already.
So goddamn much. Ooh. So what'd you think?
That was so good. I don't know if I actually want to go there.
I really want to, though.
Okay,
Though the thing that I wouldn't want to do a nighttime tour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm personally brave enough for that. I would like to do a daytime tour just to see like how big the place actually is.
Yeah, kind of an idea of like where everything was
and to
how
see like
everything happened.
The body shoot in person.
Yeah,
just
that'd be really cool.
Like just like imagining us going there and like let's say I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go look over in this room for a second. You go somewhere else, and then hearing you say, "Hey, Kate, come over here," but you never said my name.
Before we go, we have to come up with a safe word for.
What's her safe word? Oh fuck! There goes my pop filter. You know what?
I guess we'll have to figure it out. We can't broadcast what our safe word is going to be. We have to talk about it in private.
Fuck, you right. If I hold the pop filter like this because it fell off, it's fine. I hope you guys liked that story.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it a lot.
Thank you. It's
like,
definitely like, ooh, everything you can imagine.
I'm still thinking about those sandbags. I'm like, no, thank you.
Really? That's what got you?
No, it's just like just thinking about that. But then the bones and the people hunched over that they keep seeing. That
one
gets
got
to me.
That one got me too.
And the body in the tunnel. I don't like that.
Nope.
And then things happening in that on room 502. I didn't like that. And the fourth floor. I didn't like that.
I think what got me was like the creeper crawling on all floors at the ceiling. The boys getting locked in the room when there was no way to lock it. The body in the tunnel, like the laser pointer.
Yeah, that one.
And
Yeah.
Oh, that like operating table shaking was also weird.
Yeah, I did not like that. But I'm like, well, that was the only thing that was shaking, so that's the thing that really was creepy about it.
Yeah, they're like, we don't know what's going on, but okay. This is fine.
Yeah.
So that place is wicked haunted. Love it.
So haunted.
So haunted. Let's visit. Do you need to take a break?
Yeah.
You're using the pen I got you!
Yeah.
Nice. I love that pen. It's a good pen.
It's a good pen.
I have a pack of 12.
I'm just like surrounded by pens right now.
Oh, fuck.
Because I have ADHD, and if I'm not doing something, I will disassociate. So I
feel like we need to mention that every episode in case someone ever forgets that we both have ADHD and are
like,
somehow...
why are they like not paying attention to each other? But it's like, this is how I have to pay attention. It's if I stare at you and look at you the whole time, I'm just like...
We might actually get away with it in like the finished episodes because I cut out a fair bit of our tangents just for the sake of it being, under 2 hours. So
it's very true.
If you watch the videos, I apologize. Maybe we're good background noise. Maybe you can draw to us. I don't know. Cheers.
You can listen to us and be scrolling through TikTok as you're also playing a video game at the same time. That's what I do.
We're fun. We're
8%
my ass.
I love that.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I have the Google search.
We're back.
I have the Google search, but not the actual webpage up. That's how prepared I am.
I love that. See, it truly balances out because I'll go on for way too fucking long.
And it's me looking for a Wikipedia article to read off of.
I love that so much. So
I feel like it makes it a more authentic.
Yes.
It's truly our personalities.
People that have listened to us have said that they like it because they feel like they're hanging out with friends. And I love that so much.
I'm like, I don't think I need
We love you guys.
Anymore.
Yeah. While you're looking for your article, I can tell you my funny story. So,
yeah.
This week, I accidentally found 2 of my friends' Twitters. The first one. So, one of my mutuals from Instagram that's also into She-Ra, who I love and would also die for, named Jackie. I hadn't seen her on Insta in a while. And I'm like, oh, hope she's doing okay. And then I go on Twitter, and I see a comment to another one of her mutuals. And I see the icon. I'm like, wait, that's Jackie's art. And so I click on it. I accidentally found her not safe for work account.
Oh.
And I messaged her, and she's like, oh, hey, I was wondering if you had a Twitter. I'm like, hey, bud. And it's like, there's reasons why she wasn't on Instagram right now. But she's like, yeah, I didn't imagine us, reconnecting this way. I'm like, it was fate. It was meant
fate.
to be.
I'm like, do I want to know what kind of not safe for work art? Is it just like general stuff or like random stuff?
Catradora, not safe for work. All very good stuff, yeah.
Good to know.
The second one is one of me and Alex's friends, Amelia, So she's the one that like originally got Alex into Yaomushi pedal. And
Yeah.
The spiraled from down there with me. So she has her favorite boy. I can't remember his name, but he's a dumbass. And so I saw really good art of him when I was scrolling through Twitter. Mm-hmm. So I sent her the art, and I was just without any caption. Her response was, "Oh, you found my secret bike Twitter." I'm like, "You have a secret bike Twitter?" So I unknowingly sent her her own art. I was very embarrassed, but she said she took it as a compliment, so that was good. So that was my week.
That's amazing. Oh, how I wish no one finds any of my 12 million Twitter accounts. I have only like 7.
I think I followed 2 of yours.
Let me double check, because I...
The one you used and then your Stan.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, on my phone.
Is it Yoongi? I don't know.
Yeah, on my phone, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On my iPad, I have... Let me freaking see how many I still have on here. Because some are inactive. So I have 9 on my phone. 2 other ones on my iPad. And then my other phone.
I love how you have like your separate burner phone too. Guys, so V has 2 phones. One's an iPhone, one's an Android. One's like a fucking RP burner phone bullshit.
It's not. Kind of. Because I deleted like 4 or 5 accounts recently, so.
He's the hacker that we always wanted.
No, I'm the one that's getting hacked because I use the same password for everything.
Oh, big fucking mood, bud. I'm really there.
I'm the opposite of the hacker. I'm the hacked.
You're the hacky. I know how stuff works. I don't. It's fine. But it's okay because I'm the best boy.
Yes. You're the best boy, and that's all that matters.
All that matters. Fun fact, in my Procreate app, you can like make a stack of artwork and you can label it. Mm-hmm. So for She-Ra art, it's Let's Go Lesbians. And Yaomushi pedal is Yowie pedal. Just so you know. Fun fact. Do you want to tell me a story?
I do, because I don't want to talk about Yowie pedal anymore.
All right. Tell me a story.
I'm like, why do I have 3 notifications there? 4. How dare you? So, do you want to guess this 1980s Chicago metropolitan story?
Does it involve pills?
Hell yeah, it does.
Is it the Chicago pill murders?
The Chicago Tylenol murders, yeah.
Oh my god, I'm excited.
My mom, she's like, "Oh, are you guys recording tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Are you going to do it about how the white people killed all the Native Americans?" I'm like, "I should have." I'm like, there's no point in me like not doing that. But like, I already had the search up, so I was like, I can't change my story now. I already have the Google search for this.
I love your mom so much. Since we're close to Thanksgiving, that's a fake holiday. Fuck Christopher Columbus.
Exactly.
Support Indigenous and Native businesses. Don't be an asshole.
And also...
And Black businesses. Support small businesses.
Also, don't be a giant douchebag during Black Friday if you're in America.
Yes.
I don't even know if it like somehow expanded out of America yet, because I just hate the concept of Black Friday. Like,
oh, it's fucking terrible.
I remember back in the day when it wasn't a thing. Like, am I that old that I remember when Black Friday wasn't a big deal?
I remember it was like, you could camp out like early in the morning, like 5 in the morning, and get like a good deal kind of thing.
Yeah, but it wasn't like the biggest deal in the world. Like, you'd be like, okay, some people are like, it's worth it, but like not everyone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't every store. And it wasn't stores opening up at like 4 or 3 in the morning or like halfway through Thanksgiving Day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then people getting hurt, injured, and dying for deals. It's not worth it.
Not worth it.
But this country is all about consumerism.
Welcome to hell.
Capitalistic America. They don't care about you. They care about your money.
Boom, boom, boom. Well, take me back to
Chicago, 1982. Let me tell you about Chicago.
Chicago. I'm ready.
It's fucking cold in Chicago.
It is. Here's episode 2.0 dedicated to you, Jazzy.
All right. So there was, let's see. Let's talk about this part. So on September 29th, 1982, we're going right into the story.
Woo woo!
Because this is a pretty popular one that most people have heard of in some sort of way.
Is this our fun popular episode? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, so, pretty much, this one's pretty much like a cold case, too, because no one ever found out who did it or how they got into it, really. But there was a bunch of Tylenol branded, pretty much the capsules for their, I can't say those words, but, their pain pills, that were poisoned and laced with cyanide. And so a total of 7 people had died in the original poisoning, and then several more died afterwards because of copycat crimes.
Oh, God.
After this happened. Yeah.
Fuck.
Which is the crazy thing is, like, one huge not fiasco, but, like, you have something so shocking happen, people are like, I want that. And I don't get it. They want to be able to be the reason for that. I'm like, no.
No, don't do it.
So this happened between like September to October of 1982. Okay. So no suspect has ever been charged or convicted for it. And so there was someone in New York City who was convicted of extortion for sending a letter to Johnson & Johnson that took responsibility for the deaths and demanded just $1 million.
That's right, because Johnson & Johnson was like the parent company for Tylenol, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it was like brand name Tylenol that they were doing. Because this is before the safety seals, which caused the safety seals. Much like Prince caused the parental advisory sticker to be put on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like you just said, this led to that reform of the packaging for, like, those kind of substances and the anti-tampering laws. And then, so, yeah, you pretty much said all that I needed to say about that. So, let's just go into the incidents. No, you're fine. So, on September 29th, 1982, 12-year-old Mary Kellerman in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, had died after taking a capsule of extra-strength Tylenol.
She was only 12? Oh, my God.
I'm like, you wouldn't really think about this. Like,
no.
Like, you have a headache, you take a Tylenol.
Yeah,
like
there's no reason.
You wouldn't think about it.
Not like, oh, I'm going to be poisoned. Awesome.
Yeah,
no.
That doesn't come to mind. So Adam Janis, who was 27, of Arlington Heights, Illinois, had died in the hospital later that day after ingesting the Tylenol. And then his brother, Stanley, who was 25, and the sister-in-law, Teresa, 19, of Liesel, Illinois, they later also died after taking the Tylenol from that same bottle.
So with 3?
One family bottle. Not on the same day, but not the same day, but this the same bottle. Mm-hmm.
That's a lot at once.
Yeah. And then in the next few days, Mary McFarland, who was 31, of Elmhurst, Illinois, and Paula Prince of Chicago, and Mary Reiner of Winfield Illinois, all died in the similar incident. And so once they realized that not everyone, but like all of these people had taken Tylenol recently before they died, like they were like, shit, there's something going on. So they had to test all their Tylenol bottles, and they found the cyanide in it. And so then there was a warning issued through the media and patrols using loudspeakers, warning residents throughout the Chicago metropolitan area to discontinue the use of the product.
Which like wasn't like they lost a lot of money, I know, but that's a good move to do, right?
Well, it wouldn't, like, even if Johnson & Johnson wanted to keep it hush-hush, like, they couldn't really do that because this is not about, like, saving face for them. This is about, like, people's actual safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, they were just like, we just have to do what we can because we can't recall everything. And, like, because these bottles could have been in their possession for a while and not even realize it, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, knowing that the various sources of Tylenol were tampered with, the police ruled out manufacturers since the tampered with bottles all came from different pharmaceutical companies. And the 7 deaths happened just in the Chicago area, so sabotage during the production was ruled out.
Okay.
So, like, it didn't come from the same batch, which is what they thought at first. So then they concluded that they were likely looking for a culprit who was believed to have acquired the bottles of Tylenol from various retail outlets. And so that, so then they also concluded that the source was most likely like supermarkets and drugstores over a period of several weeks, which the culprit likely added the cyanide to the capsules, then methodically returning to the stores to place the bottles back on the shelves. So, in addition to the 5 bottles that led to the victim's death, a few other contaminated bottles were later discovered in the Chicago area.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good that they got those recalled ones, though.
Yeah, like that they were able to, like, people were just so scared. They were just like, I'm gonna just send this in because I don't trust it.
Yeah.
And like, luckily, like, people weren't like dying from it, and like. After that, Johnson & Johnson distributed a warning to hospitals and distributors and halted the production of Tylenol and the advertising of it. And so October 5th, that's when they had a nationwide recall on the product, which was an estimated 31 million bottles.
Damn.
Which the retail value was of over 100 million. So in 2019, that's like $265 million.
Holy shit. That's a lot.
Yeah. So then they also advertised in the national media for individuals not to consume any of its products that contained, I can never say that word when I read it. Acetaminophen?
Fuck. I know what word you mean.
What if I just, like, select text? That's not what I wanted. Bixby, tell me.
Acetaminophen?
Acetaminophen?
Maybe?
I'm going to use Google.
But maybe this is the thing I'm thinking of, where, like, Johnson & Johnson was, like, recalling everything and wasn't making, like, a big fuss about it. Like, that's a good move on it, like, as a company. Just, like, take full responsibility for that, you feel?
Yeah. I'm like, how do you say it, Google? Tell me. Speak to me.
It's not antihistamine.
Yeah. Because that's what I keep trying to want to say. I'm like, just say it, Google. Hey, Google, what is Tylenol made of?
According to Wikipedia, the active ingredient of its original flagship product is paracetamol, an analgesic and antipyretic.
That's all you're going to give me? Are you going to say this?
Here are some details.
Okay. I hate you.
Let's see.
Acetam-
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen.
I think so.
That's what I'm like. I am going to spend 12 hours just sitting here being like, how do you say this word? Without ever saying it.
73% sure. These are pretty good odds.
That's not what I wanted. I don't want to get back in here. What is this happening? Acetaminophen.
Do you know I once asked a girl to prom by making her a sign that says, "Will you go to prom with me?" But it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Will Yu-Gi-Oh! To prom with me?
I need a moment.
I don't know why I just thought of that, but I felt the need to share it with you because it felt important.
So for acetaminophen, I would go
Acetaminophen.
Nuffen. Minuf.
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen. Words are fucking hard.
We have a podcast.
We do. For some reason, we do. It's so good, though.
This is a fun time.
Yeah.
We're on episode 33. Wow.
Yeah. So, the company also advertised on the national media for individuals not to consume any of its products that contained acetaminophen after it was determined that only these capsules has been tampered with. Johnson & Johnson also offered to exchange all Tylenol capsules already purchased by the public for solid tablets. So that way they wouldn't be able to be corrupted.
That's
Not corrupted.
smart.
Poisoned. But yeah. So there's that one guy that I mentioned who sent the letter demanding $1 million to stop the cyanide-induced murders. But, so he was identified with the fingerprints with the envelope that he used.
Mm-hmm.
The police were unable to link him with the crimes as he and his wife were living in New York City at the time. But he was convicted of extortion and later served 13 years of a 20-year sentence and was paroled in 1995.
What was his reason for, if I remember, he, wrote the letter and then, sent it to someone, right?
I don't remember exactly, but he just pretty much was saying that, because the news was saying there's no way he could have done it, they can't conclude that he was responsible for it really.
Mm-hmm.
But the Department of Justice were going to say that he was responsible. Which was weird because then afterwards Lewis was like, if the FBI plays it fair, I have nothing to worry about. And then he continued to deny all responsibility for the poisoning, so he just wanted money out of it.
Oh, gotcha. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there was a second man named Roger Arnold who was identified and then investigated and cleared of the killing. He had a nervous breakdown due to the media. Maybe we should record.
There we go.
Where was I? I don't know.
Being just cut out.
Yeah, it was weird.
It said, "No, Mom said it's my turn to use the Xbox, not yours." For reference, our tags today say, mine says, "Mom says it's my turn to use Xbox." V says V. Van Gogh. Wait.
Van gotta go fast.
There we go. It's so good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you trust yourself to walk? Do you want to walk on these legs?
She's thinking maybe.
No, it's male.
Oh, it's me. He's thinking maybe.
Do you want to tell the story? Because there was a second man who they were like, maybe it was him.
Oh, so he had a nervous breakdown. I think it was the last thing you said.
Yes. Oops. He had a nervous breakdown because of the media attention.
Yeah, I'll do it.
And so he blamed a bar owner, which he blamed on a bar owner in the summer of 1983. So like, all the murders happened. They're like, what the fuck happened? Who did this? And so one night or one day, who fucking knows?
We don't.
We don't. I don't look up stuff. I'm bad at that.
Welcome to Tipsy Mysteries.
Roger Arnold, the second man, who was identified and like investigated for this, he decided to shoot a man that he mistook as that bar owner.
What?
Who didn't even know who he was.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Because he's all like, you did this to me. You brought this into my life. But this guy's like, I don't even know who the fuck you are. And now he's gone. Rest in peace.
Oh my god.
So Arnold, he was convicted in January 1984 and served 15 years of a 30-year sentence for second-degree murder. Then he died in 2008.
Bye.
Yeah. And then there was another person, Lori Dan, who poisoned and shot an unknown number of people in May of 1988 around Winnetka, Illinois. She was briefly considered as a suspect. There was no connection to be found.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So pretty much they just had an ongoing investigation trying to figure out anything that could have happened. They checked like the surveillance cameras in like multiple places where like it's happened before, and like
Where they could have like bought the bottles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
like they checked this cameras for several months to see if like someone else is going to try and do something again. But there was a surveillance photo of a person who was purchasing the cyanide-tempered Tylenol at a Walgreens that was released by the Chicago Police Department. And they believe that the bearded man seen just a couple of feet behind that person may have been the killer. So like they were probably still like around once they like tampered with that bottle and were waiting for someone to buy it and like see what happened with it.
Oh, weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so in early January 2009, Illinois authorities like renewed the investigation because they decided to search the home of Lewis in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and seized a number of items. And then in Chicago, there was a spokesman who declined to comment but said, we'll have something to release later possibly. They've released numbers of tips related to the case coinciding with its anniversary. And in a written statement, the FBI explained that this review was prompted in part by the recent 25th anniversary of this crime and the resulting publicity. Further, given the many recent advances in forensic technology, it was only natural that a second look be taken at the case and recovered evidence.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Now that they have better technology, like
I'm glad that they started to review it.
Yeah.
That was back in 2009, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
So in 2011, in May, the FBI requested DNA samples of Ted Kaczynski, who was the Unabomber.
Oh, that's right!
Because they thought for a minute that like he might have a connection with this. And then he also denied ever having possessed the potassium cyanide. But because like those the first four Unabomber crimes happened in Chicago and its suburbs in 1978 to 1980, and Kaczynski's parents had a suburban Chicago home in Lombard, Illinois, in 1982, where he stayed occasionally. So that's why they're like, maybe he had the connection. But
okay, fair.
Yeah. Then there is the aftermath, where there was plenty of copycats. Hundreds of copycat attacks that involved Tylenol.
No.
There was others. with Tylenol, other over-the-counter medication, and other products that took place around the United States immediately following these deaths.
Guys, just buy the Kroger brand. It has literally the same ingredients.
I'm like, it's just that over-the-counter medications too and other products. It's not just Tylenol.
Oh, no one's safe. I recant my statement.
So 3 more deaths occurred in 1986 from tampered gelatin capsules.
Oh.
Yeah. And then a woman died in Yonkers, New York after ingesting extra-strength Tylenol capsules laced with cyanide. Excedrin capsules in Washington state were tampered with, resulting in the death of Susan Snow and Bruce Nickel from cyanide poisoning, and the eventual arrest and conviction of Nickel's wife, Stella, for her intentional action in the crime and connected to both murders.
Sorry. So the original Tylenol murders were in 82. These happened in 86. Were there still not seals on these? Fuck. Y'all?
I'm like, that takes a hot minute.
Get them to seal. Continue. Ignore me. Ignore the co-host. I'm going through it. Because what the fuck?
Let's see. That's when they decide. When did they start doing it? Did they just say that they did it? Because it says that like that incident in 1982 inspired the pharmaceutical, food, and consumer product industry to develop tamper-resistant packaging, such as induction seals and improved quality control methods.
I feel like it took them a long time there. Oof.
Probably. And then the product tampering was made a federal crime after that too. Because the new law resulted in Stella Nichols' conviction in the Excedrin tampering case, for which she was sentenced to 90 years in prison.
Wow.
So, let's see. Let's see if I could find out exactly when they started that. That's pretty much the whole story of it. Until I find out pharmaceutical.
That's so bonker bananas, though. Like the fact that someone could it. Okay, I know they said this in the BuzzFeed Unsolved episode, but literally the 80s and 70s were the goddamn Wild West. Could go in and just leave some poison. Someone would take it. If you're my mom, you can get a restraining order in 3rd grade. Normal stuff.
Your poor mother. Your poor mother.
Push another child's face into a radiator, causing him to have stitches.
Oof.
Could stop
but
another.
He deserved it.
Well, yeah, that kid deserved it. He also caught her on a bad day. The other kid she stabbed a pencil into his hand because he was breathing too hard.
See, that's a little.
Yeah, she does feel bad about that one. She doesn't. I don't think she feels bad about the radiator kid because he was making fun of her, and I was also I don't know if I want to say that on air. I think you know. Yeah. And other kid that she stabbed because the kid came up to her and was stab me, and she's okay.
This is what you asked for.
Yeah. Don't mess with the redheaded kid.
I always forget your mom's a redhead.
Right? Which is weird because none of my siblings and I have the redhead gene. It's just her.
And is your dad naturally a blonde?
Yeah, he's naturally blonde. So is my brother. They both have blonde hair, blue eyes. So is my grandma. So me and Abby got brown hair, brown eyes.
Weird.
How do genes work? I don't know.
That's weird.
I'm too tipsy. I don't know.
When did slavery end? Please. I wish it did.
God, you're right.
I don't want to know when pharmaceutical companies started advertising.
Well, while you're looking, I can tell my fun story of it was 2nd grade. And since this is Utah, there's Utah traditions. It was 2nd grade around Thanksgiving. In my class, they're okay, as a fun activity, because this is Utah and because you're all white, you are going to choose out your hat that you're going to make. And you can either be a Native American or you can be a pilgrim.
Uh-huh.
I would, because my mom helped out sometimes in my classes, like it's like for art stuff. I went up and like, I don't want to be a pilgrim. I don't like them. So I like to think that second grade Kate knew what was up.
I'm glad.
I think about that sometimes. Fuck Christopher Columbus. Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
He's literally the worst.
The worst. Fuck him. Fuck Brigham Young. I will still fight his ghost with my boxing.
Please.
Coming for you,
That's all I
Brigham Young.
want.
Fuck you, BY.
I have no idea because no one is fucking giving me dates and times.
Looking for like the year the tamper seal was put on?
Yeah. It's just all like
What
fake drugs. I'm like, no. I'm not.
Year, what? Not yeet. What year was the tamper proof seal put on?
$1983.
Then what was happened in 1986? The fuck? Okay. Whatever.
I don't know.
Side note, look at my nails. They're very sparkly.
Oh, cute.
I did not eat. I did not eat enough for this. Continue, fancy man. I don't know where we were.
Oh, I finished my story. That was the last thing I was looking up.
Oh, woohoo!
Yeah. As I like, they made it a federal crime to tamper with things. So then they're like, fuck you, Stella.
Fuck you, Stella. If
Yeah.
your name's Stella and you're good, we did not mean this at you.
Only the Stella who poisoned those people.
Yeah, if you're Stella and you did not poison people, this is not at you. Only that one Stella.
Hopefully it's only one Stella.
Hopefully it's only one Stella that's poisoning people.
That's all I can hope for. That's all I can hope for.
Doing great, guys.
I forgot I made another cup of tea.
Oh my god. That was such a good story, though. That one gets me. Like, just the fact that we still don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should drink my water. Because my alcohol is gone. It is in my bloodstream. Here we are.
It is a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a song recommendation?
I was just looking that up. Since I don't think... Well... Can I recommend anime openings? And if so, can I recommend an anime opening from a movie?
Oh my, this is your podcast. You can do whatever you want.
Fuck yeah, it is!
This is... If our niche isn't the weebs who are into anime, I don't know who we're talking to.
Who are we talking to? We don't know anymore.
Talk to us. Tell us about you. I want to know you guys.
Please, we're friendly, I promise. I mean, we're sweaty a lot of the time, but we're nice.
We're sweaty and so cold.
We're always clammy. We're clammy, but we're friendly. Okay, we're more afraid of you than you are of us. I swear to
true.
God. Okay,
Very true.
well then I'm gonna recommend the one song that plays throughout Promare, the movie, which I own on DVD now, so I'm gonna bring it over so we can watch.
How many movies are you gonna bring over one day?
A lot. It's such a good song, though. I'm just gonna have to add it to the playlist because I cannot pronounce those characters. Like, look at the top. Look at the top. I can't.
Those are words I can't read.
Exactly.
I haven't studied Japanese since I was a weeb.
Oh yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Little baby weeb. So I will recommend that. What is your song recommendation, my friend? Guys, just look at Promare and then listen.
I'm going to do mine as Life Goes On by the Grammy-nominated K-pop group, BTS. They got nominated for a Grammy!
Go BTS! Congrats!
Finally. If they win this, they can stop promoting in America, and they can just do whatever the fuck they want after they get to this point in their life, to get that final goal. Not their final goal, but it's like one of their biggest things that they want in life is to get a Grammy. Not probably the biggest thing in life, but like a big musical like stepping stone.
Would they be the first like non-English speaking band to get a Grammy? Because that'd be so fucking cool.
I think so, because it's very white dominated.
Yes. Because that's something I'm like...
Definitely the first, like, I think they're the first, for sure, first Korean group or artists ever. Or Asian artists, probably.
Because the U.S. is trash. Hello.
Right? So many, I'm like, I don't even see why people think of, like, American Academy things as being elite. Because it's like, it's racist. It's not good.
Oh, no. I want to see, did Prince win any... did Prince win a Grammy? Let's see. Damn. Okay, so Prince earned 7 Grammy Awards and 37 nominations over his career. To be fair, he was like, he had 39 albums. He was like singing for like 40 years, so. Did Purple Rain win a Grammy?
Yeah, I've never
Purple
listened.
Rain won a Grammy.
Wow.
Oh, Purple Rain won 3 Grammys. Wow.
Nice.
I feel like that's well deserved. The album slaps.
Yeah.
But you're right.
I've never listened.
It's okay. But you're right. The rest of the Grammys very racist. I agree. Cheers. Unfortunate. Cheers. Well, my friend, do you have any parting words of advice on this fine Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock? And I'm very tipsy. I want
It's only 8:30.
Listen, I plan on making a grilled cheese, and then I'm going to play Untitled Goose Game with my brother.
I want a grilled cheese. Please make me one.
I'll make you one.
Mail it to me. My address is...
Booty at Booty Lane.
Booty at Booty Lane.
Booty at Booty Lane.
Nice.
Nice. What are your parting words of advice?
Bake bread.
Bake bread.
Bake some bread. I want bread so badly right now.
Bread. Guys.
Bread is life.
Bread is love. Bread is life.
I'm sorry to all my celiac listeners and people who have a gluten intolerance. Also glucose intolerance. I'm sorry.
Isn't there
It's a hard life.
There's
Gluten?
gluten-free bread.
Well, yeah.
I know depending on your level, like your severity of your
the sensitivity to it.
Yeah, what's the name of the disease? Fuck, what's the name of the disease?
Celiac?
Yeah, celiac. Because I have a friend that like a McDonald's French fry will send her to the hospital bad, and then others will get like stomach ache. It's crazy me. We'll get some gluten-free bread for you guys. We'll have a bread party. I just want butter.
You can't share butter.
We'll
with
have
those friends.
We'll
We
have different tubs of butter. And
different
then if they're vegan,
precious
we'll get their
new
vegan
butters.
butter. Deal?
Oh my gosh, I love vegan butter.
Deal.
Gosh, I'm so hungry.
Nice. I really have to pee as well. Because I
I'm
ate...
so tired.
Fuck. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Listen.
There was ghosts.
Editing Kate will find out later. She will smack me. But that's okay, because current Kate is having a fun time.
That's all that matters.
That's okay. It's very tipsy. Fuck. Why was I bored? Little. Why were we born so short? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Because God knew I'd be too powerful. That's why.
God knew it would be too powerful. That's why I don't have freckles and you're not taller.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, you're right. You'd be, like, unstoppable with freckles. It'd be terrifying.
Every week I post a new picture of myself, just like if God gave me freckles, he knew I'd be too powerful.
We can draw freckles on you. I can, wear
I was going to try doing that today, but I didn't have the right stuff to do it.
We can put freckles on you. I can wear some tall boots or something. I don't know.
Yes.
So, okay, my friend did. So, like, one of my mutuals before we met in person was like, wait, how tall are you? And I'm like, how tall do you think I am? And he's like, well, in one of your pictures, you look short, but you have very tall energy. I'm like, I'm never getting over this. Now that you've told me that I have tall energy, I'm never getting over it.
That's all the validation you need. It's
literally.
Like, I don't care. It's not about physical height. It's the energy you have.
Exactly. So the same friend we need to have on the podcast because he's also a medium. Good night.
That'd be fun.
Be fun. All right. We will talk to you guys later. Get ready for next episode because that's going to be Bonker Bananas.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo. No spoilers. Just Bonker Bananas.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Stay safe and warm out there in the world.
Woo, woo. Bye.
Bye.